Everybody, it's day 16 of SSSVEDA Vlog Every Day. Today, the suggested question was, what one living person would you like to meet, if you could meet any living person? And the person I would like to meet the most is Karl Pilkington. Now, if you don't know who that is, he's an actor and comedian. I don't know if he means to be a comedian or not. I don't know. But I mostly I have 3 of his books. Here's 3 of his books. I've got The Moaning of Life, which he was in this TV show, The Moaning of Life. And An Idiot Abroad. He was in that TV show. They have a little bit more than what happens in the show. He also, so I have 3 of his books. He's also got at least 2 other books that don't have to do with the TV shows. Just his personal observations on things. And he's in, I don't know if you know, so he mostly does stuff with Ricky Gervais. Several years ago, when people were starting to do podcast. See, they're coming back. The words are coming back. Ricky Gervais had a podcast, and I think it was just called the Ricky Gervais Show. And it had Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant, and Karl Pilkington. And just ever since then, I've just basically fallen in love with the way that he sees the world. He just sees things completely different than what you would normally think. Like, you'll ask him a question and the answer will have nothing. He'll be talking about something completely different than what you asked about. He's also written books, and they animated part. Well, this is a long story. So there's also a Ricky Gervais show that was on a radio channel in England, and one of the BBC channels. And you can hear the episodes. I think I've found it on YouTube before. So if I find that stuff, I'll put it in the description. I'll put lots of links in the description so you can just listen to a little bit, and I swear you'll be hooked. It's I don't know, it's a beautiful thing. I would like to meet him and talk to him. Like, I don't want to just meet him. I want to get my picture taken with him, which would be awesome, although he's a pretty private guy. I would just like to have a regular conversation with him because I think it would be fascinating. I don't just find him funny, I find the way that his thought process to be fascinating. So anyway, the first TV show that he was in, An Idiot Abroad, he goes to different places, like, that people would, I think the first season is the 7 wonders of the world, he goes to the Great Wall of China, and he goes to the Taj Mahal and sees Christ the Redeemer and the pyramids. And then, goes to some other places after that, the 2nd season. And then the 3rd season, he takes, I can't think of his name. Oh, the actor, he was in Willow. And I really have to edit. I'm definitely editing this video because I follow him on Twitter. Why can't I think of his name? He was in Willow, and he was in the Star Wars movies. He was in the Harry Potter movies. He was Professor Flitwick. Why can't I think of his name? He's got a very British sounding name. That's why it's hard for me to remember. Oh well, I'll write that down. I apologize. I'm so sorry. Oh, Warwick Davis. That's his name. I'm so sorry, Warwick. Mr. Davis. he's in the third season or series of An Idiot Abroad. And then The Moaning of Life is another show that Karl Pilkington was in, where it's more like, has to do with love, marriage, vocation and money, happiness, death. Like, he goes to different places and learns things, you know, about these kinds of questions. Sorry if the camera's not the same position. My sister called in the middle in the middle of me taking a break. So here's one of the quotes from Karl Pilkington. It's in his book, The Moaning of Life, and it says, this is about getting married. Well, it's in the section about getting married. He said, getting a wedding invite is like being summoned for jury service. I'm sorry. Getting a wedding invite is like being summoned for jury service. You don't want to go, but it's very difficult to get out of. Oh, God. Anyway, he's got lots of interesting things to say about all these subjects. He goes into more detail, trust me. It's, anyway, yeah, someday I would like to meet Mr. Karl Pilkington. That's my dream. So, who would you... I can't stop laughing. This guy makes me so happy. I said to my husband once, does it bother you that this man makes me... this man makes me happier than you do? He's like, I don't care. Oh, jeez. So, anyway... let me know, who would you like, what living person would you like to meet? Just one. I'm always interested when it's someone who's not like a movie star, or, I mean, they can be interesting people too, but I guess I feel like in modern society and he's been in TV shows, but I don't know. I just feel like we focus so much on those kind of people, and myself included, so... But I'm interested to hear in anyone. There's plenty of people I'd love to meet, and and the thing is, when you meet people, I don't know if you've ever met someone that you've always wanted to meet. You've read about them or you've seen them on a TV show or a movie or whatever. Sometimes it can be disappointing. Occasionally not. Occasionally it's nice. But you know what? These are regular people. They have good days and bad days, and just the time that you happen to meet them might be one of their bad days. I don't know. So I try to keep that in mind. And I try not to, I've seen famous people that I didn't go up to and bother, because in regular life, like you're at a restaurant or whatever, you're out with your family, I don't like to bother people. There's some people I would just freak out, like my sons, two of my sons have seen Jackie Earle Haley nearby. So occasionally he's near our town for some reason. I think I would freak out. I love Jackie Earle Haley. I would just, and he's not one of the biggest stars, but I love him. I think he's great. He was in the newest not Friday the 13th. Oh, he was in the newer Nightmare on Elm Street, and he also was in Shutter Island, and he was in the Watchmen movie. He played Rorschach, which is my favorite character in the Watchmen comic book, or whatever you want to call it, graphic novel. So I'm a huge fan of Jackie Earle Haley. So, and I even loved it when I even love his episode. I think he's only in one episode of Murder, She Wrote. So I try to see him in everything. So anyway, yeah, he's one of the people that I think I would freak out if I saw. I probably would freak out so much I wouldn't be able to talk. But other people, like I've met football players, I've met music stars, I've met people that have been in TV shows, movies, whatever. I kind of met President George Herbert Walker Bush. I mean, I didn't really meet him, like, I didn't introduce myself, give my name, but I was like 2 feet from him years ago on an Air Force base. That's a long story. I'm never going to do that again. You don't, now I'm going to go on a tangent, boys and girls. Let's go, let's go off on a tangent. If you have anxiety or anything like that and the president comes to town, no, you do not want to go to that, because there are Secret Service people everywhere. There are people you cannot see that are hidden up in buildings with rifles, and you can feel it. You can just feel the energy. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels very, like, my adrenaline was just going through the roof. And this was on an Air Force base. This was on a closed Air Force base because my husband was in the Air Force, which already had pretty high security. So it was so stressful. I don't think I'd ever, unless it was very important for me to specifically have to see someone of that level, I would never go through that again. It was stressful. So, but yes, there are some people I would freak out over. So I would love to meet Stephen King. I think he would be interesting to talk to. But he's not somebody I would run up to and bother. I don't like to bother people, like I said. The only person I think I would freak out if I saw is Jackie Earle Haley. Or, well, yeah, there's somebody else too. Jason Statham. I love Jason Statham, okay? Huge fan. I don't care what he does, I'll watch it. So, anyway, that's all for me today. And I hope everybody's doing well. I'm still finding people on SSSVEDA. The list of people that are doing SSSVEDA this August is huge, and most of them are sticking with it. So it's been hard for me. I still haven't seen every one of them, because then you go to the different pages, and you're like, oh, I really love this person. They're interesting. I want to go back and look at more. But then at the same time, I want to go see who are some of these other people that are in VEDA. So I'm still catching up. I mean, it'll probably be next month before I catch up. I don't know. But I hope everybody's having a good day. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.